Welcome to For Mother Matron. This is a game that was recently released by Velvetique Games back in November 17, 2020. And it is a horror game. The main story is, the story follows Lizzy, a young girl who lives in a place called the Boarding. And inside of this boarding place, everyone mysteriously worships a figure known as Mother Matron. And as the story continues, Lizzy is tasked by Mother Matron, along with two other boys named Rich and Pux, to go out and fulfill a mission for her. And so, without further ado, let's get into the game. This game contains graphic content that is not suitable for children or those that are easily disturbed. Player discretion is advised. Okay, just means, oh goodness. The Mother Matron loves you and considers your health incredibly important. Thank you. That does not really make me feel safe. Oh. Wakefulness. Where am I? That sound in the background. I feel so strange. Also, these lights, are we in an operating room? These look like the kind of lights that you'd have, really strong lights to focus on someone when they're in surgery. I feel so strange. Lost, almost. I think I've forgotten who I am. I have a name, I'm pretty sure, but when I try to grasp it, it's like I'm reaching for smoke. The claws of the hand in my brain just pass right through nothing, and I'm left clueless. What do I know? I know I exist. I need to get some proper water. I'll get some in a little bit. I know I breathe. I know this room is disgustingly warm, and despite its cold walls, I know that horrible wet sound is driving me mad. Yes. I know red blood flows through my veins. Wait, when you say it like that, it makes me feel like we're going to see other things that don't have red blood flowing through their veins. I know my heart pumps that blood beat by beat. I know my bladder contains piss. Definitely know this is getting rated R, or at least it's gonna be age restricted on YouTube. I know my intestines pipe freshly made shit out of my body daily, but not much else. I don't remember what distinguishes me from any other sack of meat. I rack my brain. I reach back as far as my mental arm can reach, underneath the old shelf full of baggage that writhes unpleasantly and glares at me despite having no eyes that I can perceive. The weight of the shelf is crushing my arm. My brain would rather I don't bring this all back up, but I know I have to. I have to. I must. For a second, I was wondering whether I should say the ... dots out loud. Finally! Oh. My mental hand clasps around something. A small and soft object that compresses under my fingers. Makes me think of an egg. Oh! I pull my arm out from under the shelf, the sharp corners of it cutting into the top of my arm and drawing blood. Oh no. The wound isn't deep, but it hurts. Punishment for trying to probe into places that I should avoid. Oh no. I look to the object. It's a memory. One that appears small and faint, but it's a start, a pathway. Yes, I'm starting to remember now. Lizzy, that's it. That's my name. Oh. My name is Lizzy. Nice to meet you. The sound is... Whenever I get conscious of the sound, Okay, no, ignore it, Wrym. Okay, there's still gaps. I have to retrace my steps. Would you care to listen to me? Help me pick up the pieces? It's easier to live through a memory again when you can share it with someone. That was actually really true what she said earlier. You'll listen, won't you? Good, good. I'll take it from the top. Hold on 1 second. Oh, what? Is that a frog? My life was simple, at least in my own terms. I live in this place with my siblings. We all call it the boarding. It's a walled-off village occupied by a bunch of kids. About 300, I'd guess. The wall around it all is there to keep us safe from, well, something dangerous, we were told. Also, I'm looking at this now. Hold on. What is I think it's an H? Yes, to hide that. So the boarding drawn by Lizzy. Aww, I like the hearts. My house is in the shipyard. There's the market, junks, pack rat, and there's work. Bricktown, Matron's Plaza. I wonder if there's a statue of the matron there. No buy. What? I'm not sure I understand that. Stay away from French head. Forgot. Mumble shock. Sad. Are these people who have died? Tower. Matron's Plaza. Okay. Yeah. They're told it's something to keep them safe. There's a thick fog that surrounds the boarding. It's so thick we might as well be staring at steel walls. We've never seen anything go beyond it, and never seen anything come from within it. Everyone's curious, but everyone's rooted behind the walls due to a pervasive primal instinct shouting that danger lies beyond. No one dares to get anywhere near that soupy membrane. We all try to live the best we can here. It's a bit cramped in some districts, especially in Bricktown. Bricktown. And Packrat. There's way too many kids crammed there. Everyone's got to share a room. Not comfortable at all. Now, if you want privacy and space, you have to sacrifice pleasant smells. If you're willing to give that up, you can live in the shipyard, like I do. That's interesting that there's apostrophes around ship. The shipyard is where all of the sewage and other biological waste is disposed of. I really should get some water to drink. It smells absolutely terrible, and to put it mildly, the name isn't exactly the shipyard. Oh, but you get the idea. I do indeed, Lizzy. I had a decent place, relatively speaking. The wall paint was flaked and most of the windows were broken, but it only had mild water damage and no leaks in the roof. Water damage is usually cause for mold to grow, and black mold can kill your brain. I also... my voice. I also very much loved having my own space to myself. The constant smell of feces and burning trash was worth it for that luxury. I can't fault her for that. Besides, your nose gets blind to it over time, and even stays that way as long as you don't go somewhere that's too clean. Oof. I worked as a seamstress over in Packrat. If you needed something stitched up, or if we ran out of clothes, I was one of the ones you'd turn to. It was hard work, and it often left my hands calloused and peppered with pinpricks. It barely earned me enough allowance to eat decent meals. I was always tired because I'd work 10-hour shifts all 7 days of the week. It was so incredibly easy to feel like my soul was like a small, pathetic, and rotten grate. However, there was one bright spot amongst all the dread. The Mother Matron. She actually looks so pretty. She's the purpose. She's what everyone in the boarding looks up to and work tirelessly to please. She's what you could think about if you needed to be reminded that things would be okay eventually. She's love, kindness, perseverance, and the real source of the boarding's security and strength. Mysterious, ephemeral, and someone so magical that no one had ever seen in person, but oh, what an honor it would be to gaze upon her form with our eyes. At least that's what I believed. I know better now. I wish I didn't, but I do. Now, oh yeah, because this is a flashback. For a second I was like, how does she know now? Okay. My journey to that dread knowledge began after an exceedingly tiresome week. I came home like normal, exhausted, out of my mind, and ready to just chug a Nutria shake and pass out. I walked through the door into my house, my eyes glazing around as usual until they landed upon my desk. An envelope. Resting on top of it was a paper envelope with a red wax seal, emblazoned with the matron symbol. Ooh, the symbol almost reminds me of the symbol from like Harry Potter with like the triangle and stuff, but I like it. I feel like there's a deeper meaning because there's a Z and an I. There's an O in the middle, but I don't, or a P as well over here. Oh well. Letters from Mother Matron weren't that unusual, but that seal meant business. My heart sank to the bottom of a deep, dark canyon inside me, and bile began to bubble and churn violently in my stomach. I reached to pick up the envelope, hoping that this was an illusion, a trick of the light. It wasn't. It was real. As real as can be. The letters with the red wax seal were a common rumor amongst the kids in the boarding. Legend was that it was the absolute most horrible piece of paper you could ever hold in your possession. I undid the seal and removed the letter inside. I unfolded it. My eyes darted back and forth, scanning the page. It read as follows. My dear child, the very thought of you warms me so.
My dear child.
Oh.
The very thought of you warms me so. Seeing you and your siblings grow through the years is always my special delight. I give so much of myself every day to ensure you all remain safe and secure inside these walls. Despite my best efforts, however, I cannot do it all myself. Every so often, I must rely on my children to support me and give me the strength to continue protecting the collective. I am not able to leave the boarding, as my departure would lead to a swift invasion and devastation of the place you call home.
Mm-hmm.
As terrifying as the thought of sending any of my bright darlings into that darkness is, it's something that must be done if we are to keep the family safe. You want your brothers and sisters and others to be happy and healthy, don't you? I have sent you this letter to inform you that you have been selected, along with 2 others, to help me in my mission to protect the family.
I do not agree with this. Is there an option to say no? But also, happy and healthy in the boarding? I mean, Lizzy lives in the shit yard. That's so sad. I don't know.
You 3 will be venturing outside of the boarding and into the Crepuscule within the week.
Ooh.
As to what you will be doing, I cannot elaborate in this letter. You will all have to meet me at my chamber in the monolith.
I'm calling it. The Mother Matron is going to be...
You will be paired with 2 boys, one named Pux and the other named Rich. By
I will
end of
hold
the
my
week,
thoughts
you will have to
until
meet
the
with each
end
other,
of the letter.
get acquainted, prepare for your venture, and visit me at my dwelling. You must not take longer than this. I
Ooh.
will see you soon, my dear. With all the love in the world, your Mother Matron.
Ooh. I really like the voice actor who voiced this. Her voice sounds very calming. But I was gonna say, maybe I've like just been playing too much Hollow Knight, but hearing this mother say, "You have to come meet me," it sounds like she wants to eat us. You know, are we your room service except we're delivering ourselves so you can eat us? I do not agree. These letters make their way around every once in a while. Very few of the recipients are still around, and those few left are broken as to barely count as people. Oh no. They are unable to do anything but mumble incoherently. It's so bad that everyone else has to try to take care of them. Feeding them, giving them water, bathing them, changing their clothes, getting them to go to the bathroom, all that gross personal hygiene and living stuff. Okay, I changed my idea. I think Mother Matron is eating people's consciousness. That's what I'll say. Whatever task the Mother Matron had revealed to them, it was something that ended in either death or something just shy of it. A dark question had hit me in that moment. Which state would I find myself in? We get 5 days off a year without penalty. I rarely ever took these, but after receiving that letter, I used all 5 of them in a row. I was numb and dumbly pacified beyond words. I may as well have considered my bed a womb, with how long I cocooned myself in my scratchy blanket and sheets. Oh, Lizzy. Oh, you poor child. Or actually, I don't know how old Lizzy is. Like, she could be 16 or something. Which is younger, but it's more like a teen. The future used to be somewhat definite for me. Endless working, endless stitching, endless exhaustion. Now, a question mark. That mystery was acid to my brain. Thinking about it brought a dull headache, and my thoughts becoming that of angry buzzing bees, swarming around the hive in my skull. Yeah. At the end of my 5th day of rest, the reality of Mother Matron's deadline crept in. What would happen if I was to disobey her direct request? I feared even more than the depths below. I had to do it. I had to get started now. Ooh, this music. There was a slight problem, however. I had no idea who Pux or Rich were, let alone where they might be. Part of me hoped they'd have seeked me out first when I was staying home, but I knew that was unlikely. They'd be just as clueless as me. I'd have to find them myself. But where to begin? After some thinking, I decided a good place to start would be by asking my neighbor sisters. They're a pair of twins named Janine and Katie. I'd like to think we were pretty good friends, and I was glad to have them as my neighbors. I approached their front stoop. Katie was reading something with a flashy pink cover, while her sister painted her nails with a jet black nail polish. Hearing both of these kind of descriptions makes me laugh, because I would be that person who wears jet black nail polish and reads flashy pink books with flashy pink covers.
Hey, Katie. Hey, Janine.
Ooh, Lizzy.
Hey, Lizzy.
Lizzy's voice.
Hey, Lizzy.
Yeah, Janine's supposed to be the slightly emo one, or goth one. Let's see. So, I had something to ask you guys.
Does it involve that letter you got?
Oh, you found out about that already?
Sorry for being nosy, but we both saw one of the posters come by. That usually only means one thing.
I'm guessing the posters are like messengers. No doubt my extended hibernation indoors also tipped them off.
Ooh, really sucks to be you.
Thanks, Janine. Yeah.
It's true, though. I hope you don't die.
Thanks, I guess.
I'm looking for someone.
Anyway, I came to ask if you happen to know anyone named Pux or Rich, maybe. I was told to find them. The two girls tilted their heads, lost in thought.
I don't think I know anyone like that. I'm sorry.
Me neither. I might know someone who does, though.
Really? Any lead is better than anything at this point. Katie looked to her sister, puzzled at who she could be talking about.
Who?
You know who. That girl whose name starts with an M that talks to everyone.
Katie's eyes light up.
Oh, meeting Marissa.
Oof. That name. Yeah, that's an odd name.
You'll understand when you meet her.
Is this because she's heavy? Lizzy, where can I find her then?
At the market. They're on the west side, near the edge. Just look for someone selling strange stuff. You'll see.
Okay. Thanks, Katie. Oh, thank you guys for your help.
No problem.
No problem.
Ooh, the market. I love how it's like it looks like a real life picture that's had a filter, like a really dark contrast filter, and then turned black and white. That just seems really cool. The atmosphere was chaotic as people rushed in and out to buy food and other supplies with their allowance. I felt my senses bombarded by the endless chatter and the myriad of smells, many of which were quite unpleasant, and I lived near a sewer. Oh my. Through the crowd, I slinked to what I hoped was the west side of the market. I tried to keep my eyes above the crowd to find that mysterious meaty Marissa character. I started to wonder how I'd lived in the boarding for so long and yet had never managed to see this strange meat girl. Oh, is she selling meat? That would make sense. Okay. As I was about to give up, I finally spotted her and realized how I was able to miss her for so long. The stand was not only really small, but it also sat tucked in a dark little corner of the market that was overshadowed by two bigger stands. Yeah, that's slightly sad. At the stand there stood a somewhat short girl with her dark hair in a net while wearing messy overalls. Compared to the other meat vendors, who sold recognizable cuts of chicken, rats, or frogs, meaty Marissa had a table full of odd, unrecognizable meat cut into bizarre alien shapes. I'm just imagining, like, literally, like, cubes. She's just selling cubes of meat, and people are like, ha! Never seen meat cut like that before. Or, she, you know how they have those, like, cookie cutters that are, like, animal shaped? She just took a slab of meat and just pounded those cookie cutters in, and that's why they're like, ha! Look, it's shaped like an elephant, but we don't know what elephants are in the boarding. The sight of those weird morsels made me want to run away, but before I could do so, the girl shouted at me.
Welcome! Got the finest cuts of meat in this particular tiny portion of the market.
How incredibly specific. My stomach churns in protest as I approach the stand.
My name is Lizzy.
My name is Lizzy. Are you meeting Marissa? She nodded vigorously at me.
I'm Marissa, and I sell the most unique meats in the market.
I can see that. I've never seen meat look quite like this before.
That's because there's nothing else like it.
That's a wonderful response. What kind of meat is it?
It's whatever sounds tastiest to you.
Thanks. Now I'm gonna imagine you've just been chopping. Has this person been here this entire time? In the picture? And I just now noticed? That's kind of terrifying. Okay. Also, wait, there's a tiny cat. Oh, that's great. It's whatever sounds tastiest to you. Also, I'm imagining Marissa's chopping up little kids and selling human meat. Against my better judgment, I look closer at the strange meat. I experienced the most confusing sensation at that moment. Simultaneous revulsion and hunger. Despite the meat looking like the last thing I'd ever want to put anywhere near my mouth, my stomach yearned. I asked myself, morbidly, should I buy it? Am I gonna have a choice? No! Time choices! Ah! I don't like that. I don't like time choices. You will have a limited amount of time to make choices in this game. To survive, you will need to act fast and think carefully. Oh god. The penalty for running out of time will vary on the situation. In some instances, it may be inconsequential, but others, possibly not. Sometimes it may result in instant death. In other times, it may result in Lizzy making an action you do not want. Oh, no. So I bet there's like 3 choices, technically. Or however many choices it provides you, plus 1 more. Because if you don't act within that time, it's going to have a bad reaction. Be wise, alert, and cautious. I wish you good luck. Thank you. Yes. Okay, so I know people are wondering, why buy the crazy meat? You know, we're going to die, probably, when we go on this mission. And if there happen to be zombies after us or something, we can throw the meat as bait. That's what you should do. I knew that this was probably a mistake, but sure, how much? Wow.
Really?
Oh.
I mean, 30 drach.
Nice. 30 drachs for something that looks like the most poisonous thing imaginable? And yet, I still bought it. I had already got myself in that deep, I suppose. Here then.
Thank you so much.
Who else buys her meat? I'm guessing. She pocketed the money, then handed me a cut of her strange meat wrapped in a thin parchment paper. I held the meat in my hand, realizing that I overlooked an important detail. I had nothing to put the meat in. I'd have to put it in one of my pockets. Ew! God. Also, I need to probably save the game at some point. Let me do that now. Okay, perfect. Settings, have I seen this? I think I saw this in the beginning. Yeah. Text speed so far is perfect. Okay. Let me return. Filled with dread, I slid the parcel of meat into my pocket. I heard a disgusting squishing sound and regretted both the purchase and my very birth instantly.
Would you like anything else? I have plenty more.
No, thank you.
For someone.
No, I'm good. I could use your help with something, though. I was told you might know someone I'm looking for. Also, that's also another thing, you know, if you want, like, if you buy her meat, that sounds silly, but if you buy something from her, then she'll feel more inclined to give you details, hopefully. Do you happen to know anyone named Pux or Rich, maybe?
I can't say I've heard of a Pux, but a Rich. Certainly. I believe they live somewhere around.
Nice.
Enjoy the meat! Come back again if you're hungry.
Aw, I heard her voice. She gave me the directions to Rich's place. They weren't very clear, but they eventually got me where I needed to go. Thank you. I found myself outside a small, weathered house. I gently knocked on the door. Gently. I waited. No response. I knocked again. Nothing. Unsure of what else to do, I tried the doorknob. It was open. Great. I don't think Rich is going to be that appreciative of you. Him walking into his house and finding out you're already inside. I opened the door and entered slowly. I hope he's not hurt. Hello, is anyone hit?
Yeah, I'm here.
Aww. His smile and like his voice was so cute. He seemed so happy. Also, this thing in the corner, I see a face, like a demonic face. Like that's the face that's like, oh, that's the mouth, that's the eye, and that's like the second eye. I don't know. Yeah, I'm here. Nice to meet you, Rich. I shrieked and tumbled backwards. Where the hell, heck did you come from? Sorry, I was sleeping.
That's weird.
You smell kind of funny. What is that smell? Oh no, it's the meat. I considered telling him about the meat I bought, but I realized I'd have to actually try and justify why I bought gross, strange meat, and further justify carrying it around in my pockets. That's not important. Where were you sleeping at? You popped up out of nowhere. Oh, over there. He gestured to a small, cramped-looking hole in the northern wall. Aw, you poor boy, sleeping in walls. With that though, I am going to end my episode over here. For those who are interested, please tune in for the next episode where I'm going to continue playing the game and hopefully we'll find Pux in our next episode. Okay, bye everyone!